Hello students, in the last class we have seen about the differential mode of operation and the common mode of operation of a differential amplifier circuit using the BJT. In this class we are going to discuss about the DC transfer characteristics of the BJT differential amplifier circuit. This is the BJT differential amplifier circuit which we have taken to do the transfer characteristics analysis. And here we know that the IC1 current which will be equal to Is into e power VBE1 by Vt. From the diode current equations we can derive this IC current which will be equal to the Is, which is the reverse saturation current, into e power VBE1 by Vt for the transistor 1, which is the IC collector current, and IC2, which is a collector current of that transistor Q2, that will be equal to Is into e power VBE2 divided by Vt. We can derive these current equations from the diode relationships. And also we know that the IC1 current is approximately equal to IE1 and IC2 current is approximately equal to IE2, because we are just assuming the IB current, base current, is a negligible current. Therefore, actually we know IE is equal to IC plus IB. IB is negligible. Therefore, IC is approximately equal to IE1 or IE is equal to IC currents. So that we can say the constant current source IQ will be equal to IC1 plus IC2. Actually, what is IQ current? IQ current is the sum of IE1 current plus IE2 current. Therefore, IE1 will be equal to IC1 and IE2 will be equal to IC2. So, which was mentioned here. Okay. So, we can say that IQ will be equal to IC1 plus IC2. Therefore, if you substitute the values of IC1 and IC2 in this equation, IQ current will be equal to Is into, if you take Is as common from these two terms, so e power VBE1 by Vt plus e power VBE2 by Vt, that is the IQ current. Okay, now I am going to take the ratios of IC1 current to the IQ current and IC2 current to IQ current. If I take the ratio of IC1 to the IQ current, that will be equal to Is into e power VBE1 by Vt divided by Is into e power VBE1 by Vt plus e power VBE2 by Vt. That is the ratio. In this ratio, I can take this Is into e power VBE1 by Vt to the denominator section, or else we can also say like divide the numerator and denominator with Is into e power VBE1 by Vt. Then the equation will be equal to 1 divided by, so if we divide this equation, okay, so e power VBE1 by Vt divided by e power VBE1 by Vt, that will be equal to 1 plus e power VBE2 by Vt divided by e power VBE1 by Vt we will have, and this Is and Is will get cancelled. Okay, so that is the IC1 divided by IQ current. Then we can write these equations like here e power x divided by e power y, we can write it like e power x minus y. So from that we can write the IC1 divided by IQ like 1 divided by 1 plus e power VBE2 minus VBE1 divided by Vt. That is the ratio of IC1 collector current to the IQ current. Okay, similarly we can calculate IC2 current divided by the IQ current. IC2 current divided by IQ current, that will be equal to Is into e power VB2 is the IC2 collector current equation, okay, divided by Vt, and IQ will be equal to Is into e power VBE1 by Vt plus e power VBE2 by Vt. Okay, if we divide the numerator and denominator with e power VBE2 by Vt, then the equation will be reduced. So here Is and Is will get cancelled, and after dividing this we can get IC2 divided by IQ as 1 by 1 plus e power VBE1 by Vt divided by e power VBE2 by VT. So then we can write this expression like e power VBE1 minus VBE2, but I am going to take minus s common so that I can write the equation like 1 by 1 plus e power minus of VBE2 minus VBE1 divided by VT. Just I have taken minus s common in this term. Okay, so this is the ratio of IC2 current to the IQ current. Okay, so from these two equations, if you take this one as equation number 1 and this one as equation number 2, we can write the IC1 collector current and IC2 current as IQ divided by this term. If you take IQ to the right hand side, that will be equal to IQ divided by this term, and here IC2 will be equal to IQ divided by this term. We can express IC1 and IC2 in terms of the IQ current like this. Okay, so from the figure we can say the VBE1 minus VBE2 will be equal to VD. Here I am assuming my circuit is working in differential mode of operation, so that the two input voltages must be different. So here the input voltage 1 is VD by 2 and the input voltage 2 is minus VD by 2. Here you can observe these polarities of this voltage source, which is a minus plus at the right hand side, which is a plus minus at the left hand side. Okay, so the VBE1 minus VBE2, here VBE1 is nothing but what? VD by 2, and VBE2 is minus VD by 2, therefore that will be equal to VD. Okay, so where VD is the differential mode input voltage, okay, where VD is called as a differential mode input voltage, therefore we can say IC1 current, here IC1 is the collector current of the transistor Q1, that will be equal to IQ divided by 1 plus e power minus VD by VT. Okay, so this was expressed from these equations. Okay, here IC1 divided by IQ we have, right? IC1 is equal to IQ by this one. So here VBE2 minus VBE1 can be given as VD, the differential input voltage. Okay, so which is equal to the IC1 will be equal to IQ by 1 plus e power minus VD by 2, and similarly IC2 current can be given as IQ divided by 1 plus e power plus VD by 2. These two are the two collector currents of the transistors Q1 and Q2. The above equations describes the basic current to voltage characteristics of the differential amplifier. Okay, these above equations, IC1 equation and IC2 equations, are giving basic current to voltage relationship of the differential amplifier. Okay, so here IC1 is related to the VD, differential input voltage. Here also IC2 is related to the differential input voltage VD. In the common mode, the current IQ will split evenly between IC1 and IC2. So here IE1 is the emitter current of the transistor 1 and IE2 is the emitter current of the transistor 2. Okay, so here IQ is evenly splitting for common mode of operation. So here IE1 is equal to IE2, which will be equal to IQ by 2. Okay, and we know that IE is approximately equal to IC current, therefore IC will be equal to what? IQ by 2, because IE1 is equal to IE2. So that here we have mentioned the IQ by 2 and IQ by 2, which are the DC quiescent collector currents of the transistors. In the differential mode, a difference occurs between the IC1 and IC2, which turns cause a change in the collector terminal voltage. In the differential mode, there is a difference occurs between IC1 current to the IC2 currents. Okay, that change is represented as delta I, the change in the collector current. Therefore, due to the change in the collector current, there is a voltage difference between the two collector terminals. Okay, that will develop some voltage, that is nothing but our differential mode output voltage. Okay, so the normalized plot of the DC characteristics for the differential amplifier is shown in this figure. So here on the y-axis we have taken the collector current IC, and on the x-axis we have taken the differential input voltage VD. Okay, first, the gain of the differential amplifier is proportional to the slopes of the transfer characteristics about the point VD is equal to 0. So, when the VD is equal to 0, we can observe that these two curves, okay, here the solid line is the curve for the transistor 1 transfer characteristics, and this dashed line is the transfer characteristics curve of the second transistor. Okay, when the voltage VD is equal to 0, okay, so the both transistors are giving same current, same DC quiescent collector current. Therefore, this is the point where we have the stable gain. In the second case, the magnitude of the VD becomes sufficiently large. Essentially, all the current IQ will goes through one transistor and the second transistor is effectively turned off. Okay, if you take the current IQ is going through that transistor 1 itself, therefore we can observe this is a curve changing like this. The ratio of IC1 divided by IQ1 will be like this. At the same time, the ratio of IC2 divided by IQ will be decreasing in order. Similarly, when the transistor current is going into the Q2 transistor alone, then in the left hand side you can observe this is the transfer characteristics of the transistor Q2, and similarly that transistor Q1 collector current is getting decreased a lot. At the end, these both transistor currents are going to 0, which means that those transistors are going to be turned off. So here, as we are applying the V1 and V2 are opposite in direction, we can get the forward transconductance GF, so which can be written in terms of the individual transistor transconductance gain GM, like the GF will be equal to IQ divided by 4 times of the VT voltage. Okay, here IQ is a constant current source current and VT is the volt equivalent temperature. I am going to split this equation like 1 by 2 into IQ by 2 divided by VT. Okay, so here actually what is GM? The transconductance gain GM will be equal to IC divided by VT. Here what is IC? The DC quiescent current, which will be equal to IQ by 2. Therefore, IC will be equal to IQ by 2 divided by VT. Okay, so here IQ by 2 divided by VT can be taken as GM, and we have 1 by 2. Okay, therefore the forward transconductance GF will be equal to 1 by 2 of the GM, individual transconductance, where IQ by 2 is the quiescent collector current of the Q1 and Q2 transistors. The magnitude of the small signal collector current in the each transistor is then will be equal to GM into VD divided by 2. Okay, so here GM is a transconductance gain and VD by 2 is the input voltage. So here if you take only one amplifier section, we can say that the magnitude of the small signal collector current in each transistor can be given as GM/VD by 2. Okay, so here GM is a transconductance gain into the input voltage VD that will give you the small signal collector current. Here the output voltage is the difference of the two collector terminal voltages VC2 minus VC1. Here the voltage VC2 can be given as the voltage V plus minus the drop in the resistor RC. So V plus minus IC2 into RC, and the VC1 can be given as V plus minus the drop in this resistance IC1 into RC. Okay, so here the V plus and this minus V plus will get cancelled. Therefore, the equation will be equal to IC1 minus IC2 into RC. What is IC1 here? IQ2 plus GMVD by 2. Okay, and IC2 is nothing but IQ minus GMVD by 2. Okay, so in this equation, IQ by 2 will get cancelled, and GMVD by 2 and plus GMVD by 2, that will be equal to the 2 GMVD by 2, which will be equal to GMVD into RC. So that is the output voltage of the differential mode of operation, where if the input signals are different. Okay, so here GMRC into VD, where VD is the differential input voltage and the GMRC is the gain of the differential amplifier circuit in this case. We can take the output from the differential amplifier in the two ways. One is the output voltage between the two collector terminals and output voltage between the single collector terminal with respect to the ground. Okay, so these are all the figures that shows you the equivalent AC circuit differential amplifier with the differential mode input signal and the two-sided output voltage. So here we have taken the output between the two collector terminals of the differential amplifier, so which is called as the two-sided output voltage. Okay, this is also called as balanced output. Okay, and the second figure shows the AC equivalent circuit with a one-sided output. Here we have taken the output across the one collector terminal with respect to the ground. Okay, so maybe we have taken the output across the Q2 terminal as well as Q1 terminal. Okay, in this case we are going to take the output voltage across only one collector terminal with respect to the ground. Okay, here output voltage will be equal to VC2 only. In this case, output voltage will be equal to VC2 minus VC1, that is equal to the difference of the two collector terminal voltages. From the second figure, which means that one-sided output, which is also called as unbalanced output. Okay, here if you take the output across a one collector terminal with respect to the ground, then that is called as unbalanced output configuration. In that case, output will be equal to the voltage at that particular collector node with respect to the ground. Okay, here V0 is equal to VC2. And from this figure A, we can say the output voltage V0 will be equal to the difference of the two collector voltages VC2 minus VC1, that will be equal to GMVD by 2 into RC minus of, so here the voltage is minus GMVD by 2 into RC. Here we have taken only the small signal voltages GMVD by 2 into RC and minus GMVD by 2 into RC, so which can be written as GMVD into RC. Okay, so here GMRC is the gain and VD is the input voltage. Now we are going to derive the differential mode gain. The ratio of output signal voltage to the differential mode input signal is called as the differential mode gain. Okay, so which can be given as A suffix D, where the D represents the differential, A represents the gain, and which is given as AD is equal to V0 divided by VD, that is equal to GM into RC. And we know that GM value from the last derivation, GM is equal to IQ by 2 into VT. Therefore, here IQ by 2 VT, which was written here, into RC, that is the differential mode gain. In many of the cases, output can be taken across a one collector terminal with respect to the ground, so which is also called as one-sided output. At that time, that V0 output voltage, which will be equal to GM into VD by 2 into RC. Therefore, the differential gain for one-sided output can be given as AD is equal to V0 divided by VD, which is equal to GM RC divided by 2, which is equal to IQ RC divided by 4 VT, because GM is equal to what? GM is equal to IQ by 2 VT. The 2 and these 2 will get multiplied, which becomes 4. IQ RC divided by 4VT, that is the differential mode gain for the one-sided output or unbalanced output configuration, and this is the differential mode gain for the balanced output configuration, okay, or the two-sided output differential mode gain. Okay, so this is about the differential mode gain of the differential amplifier in the signal parameters. Okay, so we can also derive this differential mode gain as well as the common mode gain using the small signal equivalent circuit analysis of the differential amplifier that we are going to discuss in the next class. Okay, this is a one type of derivation for the differential mode gain, and we are also going to take the another type of a differential mode gain derivation from the small signal equivalent circuit of the differential amplifier circuit.